Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. On this day in 1990, Nelson Mandela was released from his time in prison under the apartheid regime in South Africa. And he's subsequently become recognised globally as a person of real humanity. A person who showed a lot of the qualities that we associate with the best of being human. His courage, his dignity, his charisma, his generosity, his determination to stand up for what was right, his integrity, all these qualities ones we admire because they are somehow what it is to be a good human being. To pick just one of his qualities that we might consider emulating today, it is best described in an incident that occurred when he came to Britain to visit Margaret Thatcher. The day of the meeting was wet and wintry and cold, and Winnie Mandela, his wife, suggested that he ought to go back to his hotel room to pick up a raincoat before he went on to his meeting, and he said no, he wouldn't do that, because if he did, he'd then be late. And to be late for a meeting with the Prime Minister, who had rigorously opposed any anti-apartheid boycott, would show lack of respect for her. And he wanted to respect her even though she was an implacable opponent of his views. That kind of respect, along with so many other qualities, is one of the powerful things about being human, one of the things that creates change, makes things happen, and which in some ways can't be defeated. He wrote at one point about the power of humanity, and was proud of the fact that the dehumanising experience that he went through on Robben Island hadn't undermined his own. No prison walls, he wrote, no guard dogs, or even the cold seas that are like a deadly moat surrounding Robben Island could ever succeed in frustrating the desires of all humanity. There's a power to being human. There's an ordinariness too. It's not just the great and brave things. He was vulnerable. He wrote about the experience of coming out of a prison and having to stand in front of huge crowds, that he felt he hadn't the confidence to do it. He lacked the courage, and he also lacked the spectacles. He'd left his glasses on Robben Island, and so he had to borrow Winnie's so he could read his prepared notes. An example of what it is to be human that reassures me in my aged forgetfulness. But I think today I'm going to try and affirm again the qualities of humanity, all the things that make a good human being, to allow those who have shown them to influence me, to rejoice in the power that kind of humanity can have in the world, and to commit myself once again to being the best human being that I can be.